A Wind and Woodwind Instrument Guide. Chapter 1. The Wind Instruments. Wind instrument websites at cali.org/en/arts/music/instruments/winds. Subcategories: brass, woodwinds, bagpipe, didgeridoo, harmonica, jew's harp, kazoos, ocarinas, panpipes, tin whistle. Education. Makers, manufacturers, organizations, publishers. Service and repair. Shopping. Contrabass.com, Contrabass Mania. Gateway to rare and unusual deep-voiced instruments including the contrabassoon and contrabass saxophone, as well as the sarrusophone, heckelphone, sardine, and serpent. Includes pictures, sounds, discography, and free classified ads. Woodwind instrument websites at cali.org/en/arts/music/instruments/winds/woodwinds. Subcategories: bassoon, clarinet, crumhorn, flute, oboe, recorder, saxophone. Makers, manufacturers. Woodwindforum.com/forums, Woodwind Woodwind instrument websites. The woodwind instruments are all the blowing air instruments that use a reed for a mouthpiece like the clarinet, saxophone, bassoon, oboe, and flute. Try number 788 at the library. Woodwind.org. 4to40.com/discoverindia/index.asp !article=discoverindia_wind instruments. Activemusician.com. allegromusic.ca/wind.hdm. americaslibrary.gov. andesmusiconline.com. answers.com/topic/wind-instrument. answers.com/topic/wind-instrument-wind. audiomastermind.com, winds, brass instrument manufacturers. backtobasics-toys.com/search/c1/music/c2/wind_instruments. bartleby.com/65/wi/windy nsd.html. badiamusicals.com. brassandwoodwind.com.au. brl.org/music/manual/wind/index.html. bubel.ac.uk/link/w/windinstruments.htm. clarionmusic.com. dmamusic.org/acousticoils, power acoustic oils for brass and woodwinds. library.thinkquest.org/15413/instruments/woodwinds.htm. electricbluesclub.co.uk/windinstruments.html. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/category:"wind_instruments_proper". en.wikipedia.org/wiki/wind_instrument. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/wind_instruments. encyclopedia.com/html/w/windy-nsd.asp. harmony-central.com. idrs.colorado.edu, International Double Reed Society. indiamusicinfo.com/musical_instruments/wind.html. infoweb.co.nz/research/music/instruments/wind. interjazz.com. jmarmusic.com/main/windinstruments.asp. kidport.com/reflib/music/instruments/windy-nsdr.htm. kindermusic.com. knockonwood.co.uk/wind_instruments.asp. kylemusic.com. ladprojects.com/shopping/musical-instruments-1197167-wind_instruments.html. library.thinkquest.org/04apr/music/music_wind_e.htm. melmusic.com.au. msmnic.edu/woodwind. music.vt.edu/musicdictionary/text/w/windinstrument.html musicabona.com/windpiano/sheet/index.html musicerna.co.uk thoughtseo.com/music-education-4132854 musicfolk.com musiciansfriend.com musicamounts.org/instruments/wind musicamounts.org/instruments/wind musicroom.com music-service-instrument-accessories-cnt106n.aspx ngfl.northumberland.gov.uk/music/orchestra/wind.htm nkhome.com/www/windex.html novica.com/art/musical-instruments/wind-instruments/index.cfm novica.com/region/bali-and-java/wind-instruments/index.cfm oriscas.com/mi/qa/woodwind.asp palatinasa.com/wind_instruments.343.0.html pangolin.co.nz/almanac/true_wind.php physical.unsw.edu.au/jw/woodwind.html playmusic.org/woodwindsmusicammounts.org/instruments/wind pro-music-news.com prowines.com rhythmfusion.com saigaN.com/heritage/music/inst4.htm schott-music/sheet_music/wind_instruments czite.niu.edu/thai/music/classical/instruments/khr-yang_pa.htm sheetmusicplus.com si.umich.edu/chico/instruments/alf_wind.html silverbushmusic.com/windynst.html sbof.gsfc.nasa.gov/ist/wind/inst.html stagebeat.co.uk/c/55/wind +sign-instruments sunread.com superiormusic.com susita.com/historicalwines.htm thesession.org toys2wish4.com/weenien.html truverie.co.uk/windinstruments.htm windplayer.com windplayer.com, online publication for Woodwind worldmusicalinstruments.com yamaha.ca yamaha.co.jp/english/product/wines yamaha.com yamaha-europe.com bassoon/bassoon player. The bassoon is a woodwind instrument in the double reed family. It plays in the tenor range and below. It's a long brownish instrument in the oboe family. Its normal range is about 3 octaves. The bassoon is also called a fagotto, faggot, or faggot. bassoon.org en.wikipedia.org/wiki/piccolo_oboe, the piccolo oboe is a sopranino version of the oboe. 1911 encyclopedia.org/b/ba/bassoon.htm 8notes.com activemusician.com alcor.concordia.ca/tilde/smw/kcb/english/instruments/oboe.html allbassooncane.com answers.com/topic/bassoon bartleby.com/65/ba/bassoon.html bassoonbrothers.com bassooncamp.com summer camp bassoonrepair.com bbc.co.uk/orchestras/guide/bassoon.shtml bigbassoon.com bizrate.com/orchestralinstruments/woodwinds-bassoon. calarts.edu/library.nevada.edu/music/info/bassoon.html. calarts.edu/libraries/guides/bassoon.html. charlesmusic.com. childrensmusicworkshop.com/instruments/bassoon/index.html. classical.emusic.com. classicol.com. classicweb.com/links/bassoon. classicweb.com/links/bassoon/more3.html. cnn.com/interactive/career/0103/newyork.phil.bassoon/content.html. cs.duq.edu/tilde-iben/basegont.htm. cybertoads.com/bassoon/bassoon.html. cybertoads.com/bassoon/links.html. drdowningmusic.com/bassoon.html. dsokids.com. editions-bim.com. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/bassoon. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/bassoon_concerto_left _Mozart right _. enchantedlearning.com/music/label/bassoon. encoremusic.com/bassoon. encyclopedia.com/html/b/bassoon.asp. fagotism.narod.ru/index-eng.html. forestsmusic.com. forestsmusic.com/books_b.htm. forestsmusic.com/instrument_stands.htm. free-scores.com. georgetowncollege.edu/music/burnett/muse215/bassoon.htm. heckle.de/en/prod-bassoon.htm. hickeys.com. haworth.uk.com/bassoonacc.html. hypermusic.ca/inst/bassoon.html. idrs.colorado.edu, International Double Reed Society. idrs.colorado.edu/bsnfing/finghome.htm. idrs.colorado.edu/publications. idrs.org/bsnfing/fing multiple.htm. infography.com. ithaca.edu/bassoon. jdb.psu.edu/music/bassoon.html. jonesdoublard.com/bassoon.aspx. lessons.anysubject.com/bassoon.asp. lib.cwu.edu/music/discographies/bassoon.html. library.thinkquest.org/5116/bassoon.htm. library.ucsb.edu/subjects/music/bassoon.html. library.vanderbilt.edu/music/research/bassoon.pdf. ltg.ed.ac.uk/tilde-ami/bassoon.html. mesupply.com/bassoon-d204.music. morellibassoon.com. msmnic.edu/woodwind, Manhattan School of Music. music.emory.edu/bassoon. music.indiana.edu/academics/study/woodwinds.shtml. music.northwestern.edu. music.iowa.edu/miss.bassoon.html. music.uiuc.edu. music.uiuc.edu/audreyqs_uwines.php. music.vt.edu/musicdictionary/textb/bassoon.html. music123.com. musicabona.com/guide/cd/3/bassoon.html. musicians-gallery.com/start/jazz/bassoon_and_beyond.htm. musicamounts.org/instruments/wind/reed/bassoon. musicamounts.org/instruments/win/read/bassoon/education/links ncl.ac.uk/m.j.furbank/bassoon.html NewJerseyNBassoon.com oddwines.wikispaces.com/bassoon open.org/peltier/d/bassoon-midi.html open.org/peltier/d/bassoon-midi.html oracularlab.com/oracularlab/jason/bassoon.html orchestra.si.umich.edu/chico/instruments/pages/bassoon_gnrl.html organstops.org/f/faggot2.html people.vcu.edu/bhamel/main/bassoon people.vcu.edu/bhamel/main/bassoon/fingers/chart.html personal.u-net/selenite/kate/bassoon.htm phy-astr.gsu.edu/hbase/music/basoon.html playmusic.org/woodwind/bassoon.html popmatters.com/pm/music/reviews/daniel-smith-b-bop-bassoon ruf.rice.edu/tilde-musi/undergraduate/bassoon.html sheetmusicnow.com sheetmusicplus.com stagepass.com/instruction/books themusichedge.com/moxie/school/bander-ch/the-bassoon.shtml tritone-tenuto.com/bassoon.htm tsmp.org/band/nelson/nelson1.html tsmp.org/bassoon.htm, Texas School Music Project uga.edu/music/bassoon/bassoon.html uidaho.edu/uibassoon/bassoon_ensemble.htm uky.edu/pcsimp0one/bassoon_studio/bassoon_html/bassoon-basics.html usd.edu/smm/bassoon.htm, bassoons at the National Music Museum ustavos.com visasync.com/bassoon.htm visasync.com/bassoonmusic.htm virtualsachetmusic.com/downloads/indici/bassoon.html weblogs.uni.edu/bassoon woodwind.org/bassoon zipcon.net/mp3/bassoon/index.html clarinet/clarinet player. A clarinet looks like a black rod with silver keys on it. It's bigger than a recorder, smaller than a saxophone. 8notes.com activemusician.com allaboutjazz.com rjstudios.com/furman/05-22-02-002-clarinetplayer.htm arts.ufl.edu/music/clarinet/evolution of the clarinet.doc bbc.co.uk/orchestras/guides/clarinet.shtml boopedu.net/page-famous+clarinet++teachers++by+example.htm cherryvalleymusic.com/charles/reads/intro.htm childrensmusicworkshop.com/instruments/clarinet/index.html childrensmusicworkshop.com/instruments/clarinet/repair.html clarinet.cc clarinet.org clarinetandsaxophone.co.uk clarinetcentral.com clarinetclassics.com clarinet-sales.com/famous-clarinet-players.shtml clarinetexpress.com clarinetexpress.com/altoclar.html clarinetexpress.com/bass.html cnx.org. co.essortment.com/historyofclari_rgxb.hdm. dominicsmusic.com. dreamstime.com. drumum.com. dsokids.com. ehow.com/tips_918.html. eldobrghm.com/clarinet. illustrations.com/clarinetonfire.htm. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/base_clarinet. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/clarinet. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/clarinet_sonatas_left Brahms right encoremusic.com. everything2.com/index.pl ? Clarinet. finalemusic.com. forums.allaboutjazz.com. fromthetop.org/programs/performers.cfm ? filter =instrument, clarinet. giardinelli.com. jazz-clarinet.com. jodyjazz.com/clarinet.html. justflutes.com/categories/clarinet.tutors.html. keynotesmagazine.com. keynotesmagazine.com/monthly_updates/nov04/clarinet_section.php. library.thinkquest.org/c001468f/library/instruments/woodwinds/clarinet.htm. marchingbandplanet.com. markmillermusic.com/clar.html. markmillermusic.com/clarinet/clarts.html. nafme.org. msrcd.com/simon/simon.htm. music123.com. thoughtseo.com/music-education-4132854. musicianspage.com/musicians-list/instrumentalists/clarinet/classical.html. musicianspage.com/musicians-list/instrumentalists/clarinet/other.html. music.com/music/pages/instruments/woodwinds/clarinet/clarinet-information.htm. musicamounts.org/instruments/wind/read/clarinet/bands_and_artists/links. musicroom.com. musolist.com. myproductreviews.com/clarinet/clarinet.php. partypop.com/categories/clarinet_players.html. reference.com/browse/wiki/clarinet. saxontheweb.net. search.com/reference/clarinet. sheetmusicplus.com. sheetmusicplus.com. sibeliusmusic.com. smcpublications.com/studyguides/clarinet/clarinet1.htm. smcpublications.com/studyguides/clarinet/clarinet7.htm. smsmusic.org. southernmusic.com/studyguides/clarinet.htm. southernmusic.com/studyguides/clarinet5.htm. stringseason.com. stewsmusic.com/mgclar.html. teenjazz.com. tishkoff.com/articles/nextstrap.htm. urcn.com/orchestra/pages/clarinet.htm. usema.edu/band/education/clarinet.htm. windmusicplus.com. windplayer.com. windplayer.com/wp/clarinet.html. woodwind.org. woodwind.org/clarinet/study/clarinetconnections.html. oboe/oboe player. An oboe is a double reed wind instrument with a wood body and a narrow conical bore. 1911encyclopedia.org/o/ob/oboe.htm. 8notes.com/oboe. aboutmusic.org/s1/oboe.php alcor.concordia.ca/smw/kcb/english/instruments/oboe.html answers.com/topic/oboe anysubject.com/oboe.asp bands.army.mil/master/class/2sabi/oct2001/oboe.htm baroque.music-wc.com/wc/info/oboe.shtml bartleby.com/65/ob/oboe.html bbc.co.uk/orchestras/guide/oboe.shtml blogs.magnatune.com/bookman/2006/06/oboe_from_mp32.html britannica.com/ebi/article-9390917 calarts.edu/library/guides/oboe.html charlesmusic.com charlesmusic.com childrensmusicworkshop.com/instruments/oboe/index.html classicweb.com/links/oboe contrabase.com/pages/cboboe.html signetstudios.com/groups/oboelessons.htm decaclassics.com del.icio.us/tag/oboe domasarea.org/oboe drdowningmusic.com/oboe.html dsokids.com en.wikipedia.org/wiki/oboe en.wikipedia.org/wiki/oboes en.wiktionary.org/wiki/oboe encarta.msn.com/oboe.html encoremusic.com/oboe encyclopedia.com/html/o/oboe.asp ent.ohio.edu/r-thomas/oboe.html es.wikipedia.org/wiki/oboe expage.com/page/oboe links findsounds.com/isapi/search.dll ?keywords =oboe findcases.com/browse/cases/woodwind-family/oboe-cases.html flickr.com/photos/tags/oboe forestsmusic.com/oboe_family.htm forestsmusic.com/oboe-reads.htm futuremusic.com gigmasters.com/oboe/oboe.asp harmony.com/resources/instruments/oboe.html hypermusic.ca/inst/oboe.html hyperphysics.phy-astr.gsu.edu/hbase/music/oboe.html idrs.colorado.edu/publications/journal/jnl1/baroque-oboe.html jdb.psu.edu/music/b_oboe.html jdb.psu.edu/music/oboe.html jloboerds.com jonesdoublaird.com/oboe.aspx jsboc.org/oboe2.html library.thinkquest.org/22673/oboe.html library.thinkquest.org/5116/oboe.htm library.vanderbilt.edu/music/research/oboe.pdf lisahudsonoboerds.com makingoboerds.com mcwoboe.com mklreads.com music.indiana.edu/l631/oboe.html music.vt.edu/musicdictionary/texto/oboe.html musicalchairs.info/instrumentsales.asp category =oboe musicalchairs.info/oboelinks.htm musicaviva.com/oboe/index.tpl musicamounts.org/instruments/win/read/oboe/links muselib.lib.ru/oboe_eng.htm myat.co.uk/obo-a.htm newyorkphil.org/meet/orchestra/index.cfm oboe.fastdiask.info oboe.fairggas.info oboe.music.utexas.edu oboe.net oboe.org oboe.planetmitchell.com oboecane.com oboeclassics.com oboeinsight.com oboequartet.com oboes.com oboes.com oboeshop.com oboespace.com oboestuff.net oboeworks.com oddwines.wikispaces.com/oboe organstops.org/o/oboe.html playmusic.org playmusic.org/woodwinds/more/oboe.html playmusic.org/woodwinds/oboe.html popobo.com public.asu.edu/sharing/oboe/oboeinfo.html ruf.rice.edu/musi/undergraduate/oboe.html sheetmusicplus.com sheetmusicplus.com/sheetmusic/instruments/oboe.html si.umich.edu/chico/instruments/pages/oboe_gnrl.html squidoo.com/oboe theremin.music.uyawa.edu/miss.oboe.html tsmp.org/oboe.htm unlv.edu/programs/oboe/index.html unlv.edu/programs/oboe/slinks.html usd.edu/smm/oboes.html visasync.com/oboe.htm visasync.com/oboemusic.htm winfieldreads.co.uk wiu.edu/oboe woodwind.org/oboe youthmusic.org.uk/endangered_species/oboe1.html flute/flute player. A flute is put across the mouth, blown on, unlike a clarinet which goes in the mouth. activemusician.com answers.com/topic/flute antiqueflutes.com arns.si/finearts/grafe/grafe.html art.com flute asdr.gsu.edu/hbase/music/flute.html beardedwolf.com/flute.html casabensflutes.com cdbaby.com chinapage.com/story/flute.html christiananswers.net/dictionary/flute.html concertartist.info danheller.com delmar.edu/music/woodwinds/flutes/careers.html egleturtleflutes.com en.wikipedia.org/wiki/flute en.wikipedia.org/wiki/native_American_flute en.wikipedia.org/wiki/western_concert_flute firescribble.net/flute/learning.html firescribble.net/flute/players.html flute.com flutecorner.com flutehistory.com flutelab.com fluteland.com fluteland.com flutenet.com fluteplayer.net fluteplayergallery.com fluteworld.com gigmasters.com/flute/classicalflute.asp gigmasters.com/flute/flute.asp goof.com/p murphy/irish/disgustingflute.html Gutenberg.org/etext/17841. Heartsongflutes.com. herbergercollege.asu.edu/public_art/archive/fluteplayer.html. hornplace.com/flute.htm. comat.com/indica/music/2053.htm. k-c-p.com/pspencer/html/fluteseminar.html. kevinlocke.com/flute.htm. lawflute.org. larrycrounce.com/practice.htm. lib.umich.edu/music/services/flute.shtml. loomisflute.com. mostlywind.co.uk/anecdote_flute.html. musicianspage.com/musicians-list/instrumentalists/flute/classical.html. musicianspage.com/musicians-list/instrumentalists/flute/jazz.html. musicroom.com. newmusic.se. norbeck.nu/flute/tradeonn.htm. newyorkphilkids.org/lockerroom/flute.html. oldflutes.com. partypop.com/categories/flute_piccolo_players.html. pbs.org/pov/pov2003/the flute player. pbs.org/pov/pov2003/the flute player/about.html. physical.unsw.edu.au/jw/fluteacoustics.html. physical.unsw.edu.au/music/flute. playmusic.org/woodwind/flute.html. ramblemuse.com/articles/flute_player.html. reference.com/browse/wiki/flute. research.umbc.edu/eol/4/tamar, a history of the end-blown flutes of Greece and Macedonia. sagiohialangarts.com/flutecarrier.html, Saggio's Native American Flute Journey. sanantonio-flutelessons.com. shamanicvisions.com/musicresources_folders/fluteguide.pm pdf. sheetmusicplus.com. skiphealy.com. spiritofthewoodsflutes.com. spottedeagle.com/flutes.htm. standingstones.com/irflute.html. standingstones.com/irflute2.html. stellarflutes.com. thefluteplayer.net. thesession.org. thuhighstleshop.com/catalog/tutorials/essential/essential.htm. uillean.com/flute. uswoodenflutes.com. vsysync.com/flute.htm. viribittoszini.com. wanttollearn.com/fine_arts/music/instruments/flute. webhealing.com/3flute.html. willclay.com/big_cameroonflute.htm. wwar.com/masters/hc-flute_flute.html. wwar.com/masters/p/player-fan:_the_flute.html. Oregon Flute. 888-88 Flute. National Flute Association. 805 Laguna Drive, Denton, Texas 76201. 817-387-9472. Piccolo/piccolo player. A piccolo is a small flute. Answers.com/topic/piccolo. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/5_musical_instrument right parenthesis. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/piccolo. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/piccolo_oboe, the piccolo oboe is a sopranino version of the oboe. hamig.com. hypermusic.ca/inst/flute.html. mathcs.duq.edu/tilde-iben/flutepic.hdm mir-sales.co.uk/catalog/piccolo_music.html music123.com library.nevada.edu/music/info/flute.html musical-instrument-repair.shop.com/piccolo-repair.htm musicarrangers.com/instruments netinstruments.com/a.php?32081, ring flute piccoloflute.it piccolohq.com simbaproducts.com/pages/piccolo.html sundyity.com/instrument/piccolo.htm whitneymusic.com recorder/recorder player. A recorder is a junior clarinet. The recorder is a woodwind musical instrument, the kind that a lot of kids learn to play in grade school. Britannica.com/eb/article-90629113 en.wikipedia.org/wiki/recorder hameln-usa.com hans.gov.uk/hrs/finger/cfinger.html, interactive recorder fingering chart kidsworld.com/article/711-the-recorder lazarsearlymusic.com libweb.uoregon.edu/music/research guides/recorderguide.html squidoo.com/recorder-facts recorderhomepage.net recordershop.com si.umich.edu/chico/instruments/pages/recorder_gnrl.html very-clever.musical-instruments/recorder srp.org.uk Society of Recorder Players windinstrument.net/recorder-instrument.htm wanttollearn.com/fine_arts/music/instruments/recorder saxophone/saxophone player. There are alto saxophones, tenor saxophones, and baritone saxophones. 8notes.com aaregistry.com/african_american_history/1168/John_Coltrane_saxophones_main_player. allaboutjazz.com altorecords.com emromusic.com/band_instruments/saxophone/y_saxophone.htm angelfire.com/ga/sax99/anywindex.html clarinetandsaxophone.co.uk clarinet-saxophone.asn.au contrabass.com/pages/cbsax.html coolblue.typepad.com/photos/discover_jazz_festival/tony_sax_guy.html seoxhillownswolf.tripod.com/sax.htm cybersax.com saxophone cybersax.com/qa/q_selecting_beginner_saxophone.html donniesanders.com du.edu/lemont/saxprognotes.html en.wikipedia.org/wiki/baritone_saxophone en.wikipedia.org/wiki/saxophonist encoremusic.com e-saxophone.net/links.htm gigmasters.com/saxophone/saxophone.asp, hire a sax player gregfishmanjazzstudios.com gregvale.com hickeys.com icehouse.net/aprilb/saxophone.htm ihorns.com jazzclass.ost.com/sax00.htm jodyjazz.com martinspeak.co.uk mykangcluecz.com mouthpieceheaven.com music123.com. thoughtco.com/music-education-4132854. musicmessage.com/allsaxophone.htm. musicnotes.com. musicnotes.com. musicnotes.com/instruments/saxophone. musicroom.com. musicroom.com. musolist.com/saxophone-player-wanted. pablosalcedo.net. partypop.com/categories/saxophone_players/long_island.htm. petethomas.co.uk/saxophone-players.html. physical.unsw.edu.au/jw/saxacoustics.html. pmwoodwind.com. roccoventrella.com. saxgordon.com. saxlessons.com. saxmusicplus.com. saxontheweb.net. saxontheweb.net, sax on the web. saxophone.org/links.html. saxophone.us. saxophoneforum.com. saxophones.co.uk. saxophoneschopper.com. saxplayer.com. saxquest.com. saxreviews.com. saxeshop.com. sheetmusicplus.com, solos for the alto saxophone player. shwoodwind.co.uk. sibeliusmusic.com. smcpublications.com/studyguides/saxophone/index.html. soundinformation.com. southernmusic.com/studyguides/saxophone.htm. styliani.com. superdupermusic.com. teenjazz.com. teenjazz.com/teen-for-teen/saxes. tsmp.org/band/utley/soprano_sax.html. wikimedia.org/wiki/saxophone. windplayer.com. woodwind-shop.com/saxophone.html.